Okay, today we will be talking about various starting and stopping method of diesel engine. So, so here are the different methods in starting. So we will start sa starting of diesel engines. So first is engine starting by an auxiliary small engine. So there are in this type of starting, so there are two engines. So the first engine is diesel engine, that is the main engine. And second is a small petrol engine. So for example, ah, meron tayong diesel engine. Then couple siya sa isang gasoline engine. So since yung gasoline engine natin is pwede naman natin yung patakbuhin ng kahit hand-driven lang or so itong petrol engine, ito yung magpapaikot na diesel engine. And then pag tumatakbo na yung diesel engine, magdi-disengage agad yung petrol engine, then papara na yung petrol engine. So this is an example of this one. So this is not typically used on board, but for educational purposes, sinama ko na lang din siya dito. So makikita natin dito that the small petrol engine is hand-operated. So mas madali mo siyang paikutin, kamay lang gagamitin mo, and then meron siyang coupling. Yung coupling na yan is, yan yung nakakonekta sa petrol engine to the diesel engine. And then pag okay na yung takbo ng diesel engine, automatic yung coupling na yan is magdi-disengage. So, yan yung example ng two engines na isang maliit, isang malaki. So, yung malaki, yan yung ginagamit talaga. And then yung maliit na engine is for starting lamang. So, diesel engine and petrol engines are joined by clutch and gear arrangement. Small petrol engine can be easily started by means of manual operation. So, mabilis lang yan, ipatakbuhin. So, what is the working process? First, the clutch is disengaged. So, yung sinabi ko na kanina. So, automatic yung disengagement niyang clutch pag pag tumakbo na yung main engine. Okay. So, next, we have here a pop engine starter motor. So, itong pop engine starter motor is compressed air, is gasoline. Aba? Okay, next is the compressed air system. So the compressed air system is generally used for starting large diesel engine employed for power plant. So yung mga main engine talaga natin sa barko, compressed air yung gamit pagpapa-start sa kanila. So especially the main engines. So hindi pa ako nakasubok ng petrol engine yung gamit na pagpa-start. So this one is a pop engine starter motor. So this is also air driven. So compressed air din to. So usually itong gamit sa mga generator. So maliit lang siya, pop, parang puppy. Pop engine starter motor. So compressed air system yung gamit nila. And then in this system, compressed air a pressure of 17 bars. So yung 17 bars or 15 bars ang minimum. Pero usually yung air pressure natin sa air bottle natin is 30 bars sa mga main engines. So, yung 30 bars na yun yung ganun kalakas yung pressure na nagpapastart sa diesel engine. And in case na, for example, nag-starting ka ng engine or nag-air blow ka muna, hindi mo pa muna pinatakbo talaga. So, nililinis mo lang yung loob ng cylinder, air blow tawag doon. So, kahit na bumaba yung pressure na up to 15 bars, kaya pa rin niyang patakbuhin yung engine. But, lower than 15 bars, mahirapan na siyang patakbuhin yung engine kasi medyo mahina na yung pressure na yun. So in case of multi-cylinder engines, at least one cylinder remains on the suction stroke. So this is an example. So meron tayong compressor dito. So yung compressor, siya yung nagme-maintain ng pressure ng air bottle. So kahit na pag na-reach na ng air bottle yung pressure na 30 bars, automatic yung compressor is magsa-stop yan. And then, pag bumaba siya ng 24 bars or 26 bars, depende sa setting niya, tatakbo ulit yung compressor. So, meron siya dito non-return valve para hindi pwede bumalik yung pressure. So, pag na-reach niya 30 bar, dyan lang yung hangin. Pag gusto mong gamitin, buksan mo itong valve na to. Itong valve na to is, bibigay siya ng hangin sa mga cylinder, paikutin niya yung diesel engine. And then, pag umikot na yung diesel engine, meron na siyang sariling combustion. So, magsa-stop agad yung supply ng air dito. And then, tatakbo na yung diesel engine. Hindi mo na gagamitin yung air bottle pag okay na yung speed ng diesel engine mo. So, for starting lamang yan. Okay? So, yun na yung sinabi ko nina. So, this is it. Gradually, the engine gains momentum. By turning on the fuel supply, engine will start running. So, basahin nyo lang ulit. Yan. And then, we will go to the next. So, next is the starting by electric motor. So, meron na tayong starting by another engine. We have starting by ano ba yan? Compressed air. And now, we have starting by electric motor. So usually, pag ganito, mga electric motor, usually mga generators natin, yung ibang generator, mga emergency generator, meron silang electric starter or electric motor yung gamit nila pag pa-start ng engine. So, in this situation, meron tayong electric batteries, yung malaki, yung pang sasakyan, hindi, mas malaki pa sasakyan. Yung pang truck na batteries, malaki. And then yun yung ginagamit, sina-charge lang natin yung lagi. Then, mini-maintain natin yung voltage nun, fully charged lagi, and then, automatic naman yun, and then, yun ang gamit ng DC motor na power. So, kahit na mag-blackout yung barko, meron namang naka-charge, fully charged naman yung battery mo, so, pwede mo pa rin mapatakbo yung emergency generator mo. So, gamit lang siya ng 12 volts, yung iba 24 volts, naka-parallel. Okay, so this is an example of a starter na electric starter. So electric motor gamit niya. So meron itong ito ground, and then meron itong power supply from the battery. So power supply then ground. Okay, then ito yung magbibigay ng this is the solenoid. So ito yung magbibigay ng signal to engage or disengage the gear of the starter. And then pag start ng motor, tatakbo tong starter, mag-engage, mag-activate tong solenoid, and then mag-engage yung gear dito. Pag engage ng gear, papasok yung gear, tatamaan niya yung flywheel, iikot na yung engine. Pag full speed na yung engine or naka-idle speed na yung engine, automatic yung solenoid sa taas, magdi-disengage, tatanggalin niya yung gear, so stop na yung starter motor natin, and then tuloy-tuloy na yung engine yung pagtakbo niya. Okay? So, ganun din. Ito yung sinabi ko kanina. So, basahin na lang din. So, this is an example. Battery. Meron tayong battery. Meron tayong small electric motor. And then, yung motor na yan is mag-i-engage. Meron siyang sariling gear. Mag-i-engage siya. And then, ito yung flywheel ng engine. So, pag engage ng gear, iikot yung starter, then ikot din yung nakakouple na gear. And then pag okay na yung speed ng diesel engine, automatic magdi-disengage yung gear ng ating electric motor. Okay. So yan, sinabi ko na kanina, yung solenoid valve. Okay, so yan, sinabi ko na lahat. So for clarification, at least magbabasa nyo rin ulit dyan yung sinabi ko. So the motor draws a heavy current designed to engage with this for about 30 seconds only. So after which it is required to cool off for a minute or so and then re-engage. So hindi mo pwedeng start ka lang ng start ng generator mo. And then yung motor mo naman is engage ng engage ng engage sa gusto mo. So pag masyadong pag palagi mo yung ginagawa, hindi mo pinagpapahinga ng sandali, yung electric motor mo or ng motor mo, yung gears nun is mapupudpod ng mabilis. Kasi pag engage ng gear, mainit pa yung umiikot, tapos nag-fail, for example, yung generator mo. In-engage mo ulit, binilit mo. So, yun, masisira ang yung gear mo gear ng motor mo. And then, yung iba is nag-overheat yung motor, nag-trip. So, to prevent that, meron tayo 30 seconds na meron tayong a minute for cool off. So, pwede mong paikutin ng manual yung engine mo habang pinapalamig mo muna yung starter mo. So, hindi mo pwedeng biglayin or ulit-ulitin yung pag-start. So, this is a cutout of the starter. Electric to. So, this is electric. Meron tayong windings dito. So, magsusupply dyan ng kuryente. So, ikot yan. And then sa taas, meron tayong solenoid. So, ang gamit lang ng solenoid is to push the spring. So, pag tinulak mo yung spring na to, pag hinila mo yung spring na to, nag-engage yung solenoid, papasok doon yung solenoid, hihilahin niya dito yung spring, and then itong lever na to, isihilahin niya, automatic itong sa baba na part ng lever is aangat or pupunta sa left side. And then, itutulak niya itong gear palabas. So, ito, lalabas to. So, magtatamaan agad ito ng so, for example, nandito yung ating gear ng flywheel ng engine. So, pag lumabas na yan, so, pag lumabas yung gear, matatamaan niya itong flywheel, tatakbo. And then, pag okay na yung takbo ng generator or ng engine, so, yung solenoid naman is, itutulak niya dito bibitawan ng solenoid. So, pupunta dito, tutulak niya ditong lever, and then yung lever is babalik sa kanyang original position. Okay, next, we have engine starting by air-driven motor. So, kanina meron tayong compressed air. Ngayon, meron naman tayong air-driven motor. So, meron tayong electric-driven motor, merong air-driven motor. So, yung air-driven motor is usually 7 bars lang gamit niya na hangin. So, pagbigay mo na hangin dun sa kuwan, ganun pa rin. Parang itutulak niya yung, parang meron siyang, ito, main air supply. Bibigayan niya ito ng hangin. Pag magkaroon na ng hangin, iikot to, and then ito is lalabas yung gear dito, lalabas at tamaan niya yung flywheel. So, ganun, ikot, start. Pag okay na yung takbo ng engine, automatic, nakakouple yan na mapaparan agad yung hangin. Or, usually, pinipindot lang pala to. Pag pindot mo na yan, push button. So, hindi siya electric push button. Manual or mechanical push button yan. Pag tulak mo dyan, magbubukas to, makakapasok yung hangin. Pagpasok ng hangin, ikot, ikutin niya yung makina. Pag okay na yung takbo ng makina, pwede mo nang bitawan itong button na to. So, magdi-disengage din siya. Ganun lang kasimple. Okay? Next, emergency fire pump engine uses vane type motor and drives through gearing at 7 bars. So, meron ding mga engine na emergency fire pump yung nagpapatakbo sa kanila, nagpapastart. So, hindi man naman ito masyadong ginagamit, pero pwede rin naman siyang gamitin. Okay? So, 7 bar of seawater pressure yung gamit niya. So, yung starter natin is nagpapaikot lang sa kanya is tubig. So, ganun lang kasimple. Next, engine starting by hydraulic motor with manual pump. So, ito naman hydraulic motor natin is meron siyang pumping. So, ito, binubomba mo siya, itong handle na to, ipapump mo siya at a certain pressure, for example, 200 bars. So, yung tangke dito is magkakaroon siya ng 200 bars na pressure. Okay, and then, ito pa. Reservoir lang pala to. So, dito pala. Dito mag-accumulate yung pressure sa accumulator. And then, pag na-reach na niya yung tamang pressure, 200 bar for example. So, pwede mo na pindutin itong control valve. Pag pindot mo na itong control valve na to, pag pindot mo, yung pressure na nandito sa accumulator is papasok dito sa ating motor. So, this is the motor. So, this is the hydraulic motor. And then, iikot yan ng sandali. And then, magpapatakbo niya agad yung engine. Nandito yung engine. Pag takbo ng engine, tamang-tama lang yung pressure na yun. Bibitaw agad siya. And then, yun na. Yung pressure na yun is babalik naman dito. Yung overpressure. So, gamit mo na yung napatakbo mo na yung engine mo. And then, usually kaya niyan is up to 2 to 3 starts lang. Pag na-reach, nagamit mo siya ng 2 beses or 3 beses, pump ka ulit dito para ma-maintain mo yung pressure niya, para ma-accumulate mo agad yung 200 bar na pressure, usually. So, depende sa manufacturer, may iba 150 bars lang, but yung mga nasampahan ko is 200 bar yung minimaintain na pressure. Okay, so that's it. So, yung reserva, babalik dito yung oil and then refill ka naman ulit. Pag pump mo dito, siyempre magsasak siya ng oil ito and then ipapump niya papunta dito sa accumulator, magbi-build up agad ulit siya ng pressure. Okay, that's ganun lang kasi. So this is a starter assembly engaging with the flywheel ring gear. So for example, this is the flywheel of the engine. So yung gear lang yung pinakita dyan, hindi na tinanggal na yung talagang buong flywheel kasi para makita natin. So makikita natin pag nag-engage yung starter is nandyan naka-gear agad siya dun sa flywheel, naka-gear. Pero pag nag-disengage yan, papasok yung gear na itong maliit, itong gear na to, papasok doon. So hindi na niya matatamaan yung flywheel. So, ganun lang. Pag tumatakbo na talaga yung engine, bibitaw na yung gear na ito, yung maliit na gear na dito. Bibitaw yan, hindi na yan sasama doon sa flywheel. In and out lang yung gawa niya. Habang umiikot siya, in and out. In or out. In or out. Ganun lang. Okay? So, this is a double starter assembly arrangement. So, usually pag ganito, yung ibang ganito is may nasampahan akong dalawang electric starter. So, pag nagpumalya yung isang electric starter, meron pangalawang electric starter. Meron din iba na electric starter yung nasa kabilang side and then sa kabilang side is hydraulic. Meron ding compressed air yung gamit. 7 bars na starter. So, depende yun. Basta, usually, pag emergency generator, dalawang starter gamit niya. Pag main engine, isa lang. So, yung main engine naman natin is compressed air yung gamit, so wala nang starter yun. Compressed air agad yung pumapasok sa mga combustion chamber. While sa mga generator, usually is compressed air, and then, pag emergency generator, dapat dalawa yun. Emergency kasi yun. Pag pumalya yung isa, may backup ka pa. So, ganun lang ka-simple. So, this is a gear reduction starter. So, meron siyang reduction gear. Kasi masyadong mabilis yung ikot nito. So, dapat i-reduce mo yung speed para matamaan niya lang yung tamang speed na kailangan ng flywheel ng engine. Okay, yun yung mga starting system natin. So, ngayon, next topic natin, our next part is the stopping naman. So, kung meron tayo pang starting, meron dito yung pang stopping ng engine. Engine stopping system. So, the engine should not be stopped abruptly. In order to stop engine, the speed should be decreased gradually until no power is delivered by generator. So usually, yung engine natin is, bago natin patayin, kailangan muna natin patakbuhin ng walang load for 15 minutes. Or depende sa company, may iba 20 minutes. So 15 to 20 minutes, patakbuhin mo lang siya, walang load, nagpapa-cool down lang yung engine mo. Kasi pag binigla mo yung pagpatay, so maaring may mga magdidikita ng mga parts, masyadong mainit pa, tapos pinatay mo na agad, di ba? So nawalan agad ng lubrication, so may mga damages na pwedeng mangyari. So, this is one of the type sa pagpatay ng engine is to stop the fuel. So, meron tayong magnetic windings dito, fuel control rod, and then pag binigyan mo yan ng energy, yung magnetic na yan is magsa-stop yung fuel supply papunta sa injectors mo, fuel pressure, fuel pump to, and then papunta injector. So, stop yung fuel supply, o syempre, pag namatay yung fuel, namatay din yung engine. So, first, we can stop the engine or we can do the shutdown by the following method. First is stopping fuel supply. Second is keeping exhaust valve open. So, pag nakabukas lagi yung exhaust valve mo, syempre, wala kang makikreate na combustion or wala kang makikreate na compression, so wala din combustion. So, pwede din yon. Next is shutting of air supply. So, for example, meron tayong turbocharger. And then, yung intake ng turbocharger, meron siyang shut-off valve. Pag yung intake ng turbocharger is sinarado mo yung hangin doon, wala makapasok na hangin doon, syempre, automatic, papara din yung engine mo. So, in case of emergency, pwede mo itong gawin lahat. Pag tingin mo, ginawa mo na itong number 1, pero tumatakbo pa rin yung engine, gawin mo naman yung number 3. Tapos yung iba, para lang sigurado mapatay mo, especially during emergency, pag nag-overspeed na yung engine mo, hindi na gumana yung mga safety system, yung overspeed trip, hindi na gumana. So, gawin mo tong mga manual na to. Manual na gagawin mo to ng manually para sigurado mo mapatay yung engine bago siya masira. Okay? Number 4 is stopping the action of injection pump. So, pwede mong manually stop mo yung action ng injection pump mo. So, meron naman tayong governor, and then sa governor, merong mga fuel rack. So, hilahin mo yung lahat ng fuel rack kung kaya mo. So, pwede din yun. Next, we can use the emergency shutdown push button. So, may mga electronic tayo na emergency shutdown push button. Pag may emergency, shutdown mo na agad. May nag-leaking doon, malakas yung tagas ng oil. Pag nawala ng oil yung makina, syempre may sira yan kasi wala ng lubrication, shutdown mo na agad. And then, pag hindi gumana yung emergency shutdown, gawin mo agad yung manual emergency shutdown lever. So, may mga lever tayo na manual yung pag-shutdown. So, in case na nag-failure siya, yun na. Patayin mo yung fuel, patayin mo yung hangin. So, syempre, papara din yan. Next, number 7, low oil pressure shutdown alarm activated. So, pag yung main engine natin or yung engine natin is nag-alarm siya ng low pressure sa lube oil, kasi yung lube oil siya yung blood parang blood ng engine yon. Pag nawalan ka ng dugo, syempre mamamatay ka. Yung engine naman, pag nawalan ng lube oil, masisira yan. So, ang kagandahan, pag nawalan ka ng fuel, mamamatay lang yung engine mo. Pag nawalan ka ng hangin, mamamatay lang yung engine mo. Pero pag nawalan ng lube oil yung engine mo, masisira yan. So, mas mahirap magpalit ng engine kaysa magpalit ng fourth engineer. So, sabihin ng company, okay, anong gusto mo? Sisirain mo yung engine mo, ikaw ang palitan ko. Okay? Diba? Third engineer ka na. Palitan ka na lang, diba? So, mas madaling magpalit ng third engineer kaysa bumili ng bagong engine. So, kailangan protection natin yung engine natin para bago masira. Protection natin from damage. Okay, number 8, overspeed trip alarm activated. So, if nag-overspeed siya, na-reach niya yung overspeed limit niya, nagtitrip yan agad yung engine. But meron tayong every 3 months ba yun or every 6 months na tinitest natin yan. So, kailangan gumagana yan lahat. So, in case na di gumana, meron tayong maraming method sa pagpatay ng engine. Okay? So, meron tayong choices. Next, number 9, high exhaust temperature alarm shutdown. So, pag meron tayong high exhaust temperature alarm shutdown, so pag nag-activate yan, na-reach na yung 600 degrees Celsius siguro, kanong kataas na yung init ng exhaust mo, so shutdown yung engine. Baka to prevent damage, further damage. Baka may nasira na doon. Number 10, exhaust temperature deviation alarm shutdown. So, for example, meron tayong 4 na cylinder. Yung temperature ng exhaust sa cylinder number 1 is 400. So, cylinder number 2 is 600. So, cylinder number 3 is 400. So, cylinder number 4 is 300. So, yung deviation niya from 400 to biglang 600 to biglang 400 to 300, hindi na balance yung forces sa engine mo. So, to prevent damage, magsha-shutdown yung engine mo. Okay? So, yun yung tinatawag na deviation. Nagde-deviate na. Hindi na pantay halos. Usually kasi, pag meron tayong exhaust temperature, usually malalapit lang yan. For example, yung isa 400 degrees Celsius, yung isa 390, yung isa 395, yung isa 385. Ganun lang, malalapit lang yung temperature niya. Hindi ganun kalalayo yung temperature na lumalagpas ng 50 degrees yung pagitan ng temperature. Kasi for example, itong number 2 cylinder is 600 degrees Celsius na. Ibig sabihin, yung temperature niya mataas, ibig sabihin there's a possibility that mataas din yung load sa cylinder na yon. And then sa ibang mga cylinder naman is mababa. So there's a possibility na mababa ang load sa cylinder na yon. Pag gano'n na nangyari, nagiging imbalance yung forces, yung crankshaft mo, mayroong tendency na mag-bend or masisira. Or may mga parts ng engine na pwedeng ma-damage dahil sa unbalanced forces. So, for protection, meron tayong alarm shutdown para sa ganong mga situation. Okay, number 11. The high cooling water temperature shutdown activated. So, syempre, pag mataas na yung cooling water natin, kailangan ma-shutdown tayo doon kasi pag nawala ng cooling yung makina, masira yan. Merong mga parts na mag-overheat. Okay? To prevent that, we have this shutdown, temperature shutdown alarm or activation. Number 12, high oil mist level alarm. So, what is oil mist? Yun yung parang, diba, meron tayong engine. Sa engine, meron tayong crankcase or nandun lahat ng oil natin bumabagsak lahat. From the engine, babagsak yun sa crankcase or sa sump tank. So, nandun yung lahat na langis mo, and then, doon naman, paikutin niya ulit, ilalubukit niya ulit yung makina, then, babalik ulit yun sa sump tank. In case na nag-high temperature yung oil natin, yung oil, pag na-high temperature, nagkakaroon ng mga fumes, nagkakaroon ng mga oil mist. So, yung oil mist na yon, since mainit na yung langis, may mga oil mist ka na, makapag-introduce ka lang ng konting spark doon, automatic, magkakaroon ng explosion. So, to prevent that, pag meron tayong oil mist sensor, na pag na-reach na yung specific na oil mist na ganito karami na yung oil mist niya, automatic magkakaroon tayo ng shutdown. So, i-activate agad niya yung shutdown para ma-prevent natin yung engine na magkaroon ng explosion sa loob. Okay? Number 13, other shutdown alarms or devices. So, depende sa manufacturers, you should check every time. Pag sampa mo na barko, i-check mo na agad yung mga kailangan mong malaman sa engine mo, pati yung mga shutdown alarms. Kasi in case of emergency, pag may nangyari sa engine mo, yung pinaka last resort mo lang is to shut it down to prevent further damage. Para konti lang yung damage. Kasi pag masyadong malaki na yung damage mo sa engine mo, either yung engine mo ang palitan or ikaw yung mismo ang palitan ng company. Kasi hindi mo na nagagawa yung trabaho mo as a marine engineer. So, makikita mo na sa manual. So, it's free lang naman. Wala, hindi tulad sa school na bawal magkodigo. So, sa barko, may open lahat. You can use the manual. You can use everything under the sun. Okay? So, that's it. So, thank you very much. I hope you learned many things today. And I'm so excited to see you on the midterm exam. We will have a schedule for that. So thank you very much. God bless and more powers to everyone. Thank you.